other side of the world where it's late. And I'm so happy that Top is joining us. Top, I'm so happy you're able to pop on with us. I'm pretty confident you and I met in Singapore like 8 years ago, I think.
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago. 8 years ago.
I think I met you actually with Brock Pierce I think it was in Singapore. But by the way, I'm just happy that you're here. It's great to have you join us. You're in Bangkok. I get the time difference, so I appreciate you're a real trooper for hanging out with us. Thank you so much.
Sure, happy to help and pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for inviting me today.
You're an interesting guy. So I school in New Zealand, school in the UK, you're in Bangkok. You're playing in a very interesting space. I asked a few of my friends to give me an update on you. Brett King tells me to say hi to you, who lives in Bangkok also. But you are in a space that to this day still needs explaining because people seem to be lost. In the crypto market, in Thailand, by the way, you're in Thailand, you're I believe the only registered crypto, is it like a bank? What are you in Thailand?
We are a fully regulated digital asset exchange. So we're like an alternative stock exchange, but the only product on the market is cryptocurrency.
That's it.
And it's a marketplace that allows customers to trade 24/7, T+0 settlement time. Even with on the weekend, at night, it's around the clock trading.
And are you seeing the market exploding even more, or has it stagnated?
It's been very tough in the past 2 years, but in 2021, that was the peak year. We actually made more profit than the Thai Stock Exchange, our company, and we were the most visited website in the country out of all the categories. So the hype was really high in 2021, and in 2022-23, after those FTX Luna incidents, a lot of people lost money and a lot of scams happened. Like Warren Buffett was saying, when the tide goes away, you see those who are swimming naked. So you see those cutting corners, companies collapsing, and we are the only few regulated one for 5 years now, still standing, and we control 99% market share in the country now, fully regulated by the Thai SEC.
And we watch what's going on in the States. You've probably seen Genzer and what's happening and the drama that's happening. And it seems like a lot of governments are very concerned about where the digital world is going, digital currency world. And they're reluctant to allow it to really move as fast as it could. Do you agree with that?
In the previous governments, 5 years ago, Thailand was the very first country to give out a proper digital asset exchange license. And then when there is a change in the government in the past 4 years, then they were a bit more conservative, which was actually very good for us because we are thanking them right now because when they were very strict in the past few years, it protects us from those, bad actors. Right. So we were one of the very few with very good corporate governance, very strict, and we did not have issues with the customers' money or anything. So we kind of was thankful with the previous government, and I think now Thailand is advancing. We are launching CBDC, central bank digital currency, from the Bank of Thailand, and also launching investment token, where traditional businesses are allowed to tokenize real estate, stocks, carbon credit, and other products now using blockchain technology. We call this a specific product in Thailand as investment token, which is separate from a cryptocurrency product.
So as you look at where the marketplace is, because you're right, the FTX is a lot of these businesses that did not take it seriously, they took advantage of the marketplace. They have gone under. Do you think we're at the tail end of that, or do you expect to see more corruption and collapse?
After it's been almost 2 years now, I think a year and a half now since the Luna, the first almost collapsed, right? And then we had this 3 Arrow, FTX, and now Binance, Coinbase, with the US SEC. I think within this year is still going to be a double recession for the cryptocurrency space. If in every other industry we are facing a recession, but for the crypto space we're in a double recession, I would say, because of the issues are still ongoing. But I think things would be back by the next halving. The next Bitcoin halving will occur on the 30th of April, 2024. Once every 4 years, there's a golden year, usually after the halving, the protocol, right, being Bitcoin being halved. And also that's when hopefully the inflation roadmap is down to 2% and the US would stimulate the economy again. And that's my hope, that things would be better next year.
But as you see what's happening in Thailand, I think regulating was actually one of the best things that happened, is government regulation. But it seems like more Maximus and people that are in the space, that's what they don't want. They don't want governments to be involved. They want it to be somewhat of a free open space.
Yes, so we see a diverse view on this. There's a group of people like a maximalist or a proper fully DeFi, decentralized guys saying that an open system would change the world, not a closed system. And also there's another group would be a combination. We call this group a permissioned DeFi, where we are bridging the two worlds, where we are, running things in a regulated manner. But once we pass this regulated addresses, white addresses or gateway, we allow open innovation to happen. So kind of an extranet versus an intranet versus an intranet. There are three systems, and I think 3 systems can coexist in tandem, right? Like the internet, intranet and extranet. So I think a fully decentralized system and open blockchain can coexist with a permissioned DeFi, a combination of a bit of both, and also a completely closed system like CBDCs, central bank digital currency.
So since you are government regulated, where it's not in the United States or in actually most of the world, it's not regulated by the governments. Do you find it easier for you to be seen as a financial investment opportunity where people that are in the financial industry offer you as one of the products?
The company in particular, or
no, being crypto now as an investment, because in the States you can't offer crypto as an investment.
I think in the States there will be 2 different products, right? All the other coins, we call it altcoins, would be classified as securities. But Bitcoin is the only exception, where I think the US customers would only eventually be allowed to trade only Bitcoin in the country. And I think Bitcoin would be classified as its own asset class going forward. Because of the recent bank run, you see this starting from the high net worth individuals started to diversify their wealth in Switzerland, in Thailand, into other asset classes, and Bitcoin has been surging in price for 50% now since the end of the year. In the past 6 months, the price has gone up by 50% now after the bank run incident. So I think, and countries like El Salvador started to use diversified Bitcoin as a reserve currency. I think or even PayPal, right? They have billions of dollars in Bitcoin reserve now, starting from institutions, going towards nation state, using Bitcoin as a reserve currency. I think eventually Bitcoin could be classified as another asset class on its own.
Guys, I just lost my power. You still see me? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I guess I'm okay. Whew. I lost power. Let me see if I can fix that for a second. How often does that happen? Whoa, my Wi-Fi stayed. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, top. You would think that would happen over by you, not me. So I was going to say that in Thailand, people wouldn't think it as being this type of a leader. It would be more like Singapore, or even more KL, Kuala Lumpur. But Thailand taking this aggressive lead, this has really been a positive for the crypto industry.
Yes, I think we are one of the most advanced in ASEAN, in the Southeast Asian region. Yeah. More advanced than Hong Kong, more advanced than Singapore, more advanced than Malaysia. And to be honest, quite a few government entities flew to Thailand to visit our office to see BitCup as a case study. So we welcomed Central Bank of Laos. We welcomed the Vietnam SEC. So quite a few regulators flew to Thailand to visit our office and use us as a case.
I helped put on an event called the Future Blockchain Summit, which we do in Dubai. And it's fascinating to see who the advertisers are. Sorry about my lighting. And who the quiet companies are that are building. And it's always the one that spends a lot of money and has a lot of swag. I generally don't see them 2 years later on. They've just burned through everything. Like FTX was a big sponsor of ours, huge sponsor. They're gone. Binance is a very CZ comes out and speaks. I'm hoping he's a big sponsor still, because I still think to me, Binance seems to be more legit and Coinbase than many of the other ones out there. I'm not sure how you feel about that. Do you feel like they're on the bleeding edge, where they might be seen as being like an FTX, or do you think Binance is just being picked at by the governments because they're trying to get taxes out of them or some type of penalty fees?
I think these two guys operate in a very different manner, very different strategy. For Binance, they are moving fast, breaking things, and apologizing later, right? They have that strategy. But for Coinbase, they are regulated from day one, fully compliant from day one. They move a bit slower, but certain. So two different strategies. So if you see the differences, you see that there'll be more advanced products on Binance because they break things and they apologize later, and they're not regulated, right?
Well, they also use their own token as a way to actually buy things where Coinbase doesn't do that. They allow you to use fiat, where they're hoping you to use the BNB to buy things with, which is a little different than what Coinbase is. Hey, Top, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about you. This is your second. You did an exit already. You've already done the exit. You already made a ton of money on your first company, right?
This is BitCup is my second company now.
Yeah. And then
in the
your first one was fast. I mean, you exited a lot faster. You built that and sold it within how many years?
4 years.
And how long have you been working at the exchange now?
5 years and 5 months, up to date.
Which one's got more drama going with it?
I think I would say both. I've been in this space for 9 years. The first company, I created the first Bitcoin company in Thailand, right? That was the first company, and nobody understood what Bitcoin was in 2013. So we had issues with anti-money laundering officers. We had to set up the reporting system for the country. We had issues with the tax authority on how to pay taxes with Bitcoin. Like 8 years ago, we got an investigation letter from the Bank of Thailand, also asking us if we have any license to operate a money business or payment business or remittance business, and it was in a gray area back then. So the first company was quite dramatic as well. And for this BitCup, things just got a lot bigger. We just made more money than the Thai Stock Exchange in 2021, and we have 5 million customers, and now BitCup is a household name in Thailand. So, and there are a lot of many political influence and issues too. I think both are quite there are a lot happening.
So like I said, I asked around about you and I heard only but positives. I heard that you're not someone that's ostentatious and blows money, and you're not, how you've seen the crypto douchebags on the other side, where they just throw money all over the place. They have that ego, that attitude. You've operated almost like a banker. You've been conservative. You've been doing things that I believe are necessary when you handle people's money. You've been operating in a very legitimate way. Has that been difficult for you? Have you ever want to say, I need to go buy that $20 million boat and I need to go have the giant, big, huge parties? Have you been drawn to that, and have you forced yourself not to do it, or have you done it kind of under the radar?
Because of the regulations, it is very strict on how we handle customers' money, right? Based on the regulation, we have to keep customers' money one-to-one, And it's not just that, we have an additional thing called NCR, net capital reserve, meaning that whatever amount of money deposited, we have to have our own money on top, 100% on top, right? For example, we have $2 billion of customers' money and 10% is on the hot wallet as a daily float, right? So we need 200 million additional dollars on top, and we cannot use that for payroll even. It's just money sitting there on top of the already one-to-one, right? FTX is not one-to-one, but for BitCup it's already one-to-one. That is already fine. Customers can press withdrawal button and all of them can get money even down to a very penny, right? But we also need an additional money on top. So obviously we have to be super like compliant and super strict, and we can't spend money like that, right? Because we have to have reserves on top. And that's why a lot of people move their money to BitCup because of these recent events. They don't trust in the move fast, break things, apologize later guys, like unregulated players. So they migrate a lot of the wealth to, we're almost like a bank, right? For crypto.
You're operating. I believe when I see guys like you and you dress appropriately, you look like you're handling money because you look like a financial surgeon. And then when I look at like a Sam Bankman-Fried and he's wearing hoodies and he's looking sloppy and he's handling billions and billions of dollars, and he's not taking it at to me, a respectable way. It just looks wrong. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Right. And there are many regulations, not just NCR, that is governing the safety of customers' fund, right? For example, soon, even my board of directors, I would have to have 1/3 of them are becoming independent directors. And you have to separate the role between the chairman and the CEO, right? And you have to have a lead independent director to lead the whole board, right? So these kind of things, you know, we are becoming a CII. We just reached the amount of volume and amount of customers that we recently became a CII, country's critical information infrastructure, meaning that if anything happens to BitCup, there will be a systematic risk to the Thai economy. We got that big.
Wow.
So we have to fully be compliant. We can't just move fast, break things, and spending money like recklessly on boats, for sure. Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is. What do you do for fun? Since you can't go off and buy the $20 million boat, what do you do to have fun?
To be honest, I had no life in the past 5 years. But I'm trying to get better at this because the company has been growing at 1,000% every year. And in the peak year, we did 2,000% growth, right? So imagine we grew from like 200 employees to 2,000 employees in a year. So 1 month at BitCup is like, I don't know, a year for traditional companies that are growing at 10%. So I'm working like 7 days usually. And now, only now, after the winter time, I started to catch my breath, right? So and my health is not good too. I just I spent almost like half a million Thai baht on health to recover my white blood cell and all these issues because I've been working too much. So no life for me so far. But I'm trying to improve.
Well, you're staying up late, even being with us. By the way, guys, I have time for a couple of questions. If you have a question, please raise your digital hand. Hey, Top, are you coming to the Future Blockchain Summit in October in Dubai? Are you one of our speakers?
I need to check with the team. I'm so sorry.
I'll check. No, that's okay. It's one of the largest blockchain events on the planet Earth. So we had 135,000 people last year.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's huge. You want to go there. It's interesting too, because, you know, Dubai is trying to say, look at us. We're trying to become that Switzerland for finances. And you guys have beat them. You guys have regulated. The government's behind you. You've created a safe environment. Top, it's very impressive. It really is. Did you learn any of your work ethic from being in the UK or being in New Zealand, or did you pick most of all this up in Thailand?
No, I also had no life at university. I went to Oxford University, so the course was very very tough. I had no girlfriend, no partying during university time, no drinking, just habitating in the library, camping out in the library, trying to graduate. So not fun, but it shaped me. I had a good training on my work ethic, right? To study hard and it wasn't too painful after graduation to go crazy with work afterwards. Right?
You did
So
a
I'm
good
used
job.
to studying.
Alan, you wanted to say something?
Would the regulation model that Thailand has be a model that the U.S. could look into and replicate?
I think Thailand has a very good model, and I encourage the U.S. government to work with the Thai government. They can at least localize what we've been doing in the past 5 years. We were clear from day one, the separation between cryptocurrency and investment token and utility token, but the US they only started to classify different tokens as securities and non-securities, so they're still unclear with their definition. But for Thailand, we have been clear from day one. I think it would be beneficial for the government to communicate and at least localize what the learnings here to help expedite the US regulations.
All right, let's do one last question real quick. Josh Lawler, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, hey, Top. Thank you very much for coming in. I do a lot of work in this space in the United States, and you mentioned with respect to the altcoins, certainly in the U.S., but I'd be curious how it is in Thailand also, that you think they'll all be treated as securities. That kind of ignores the fact that a lot of them have non-financial use cases that don't function unless there's an open third-party liquidity source like an exchange, kind of serving that function. As you guys look at things in Thailand, is there a different view than the United States have? Do you recognize kind of the actual utility that some of these tokens have from a non-financial perspective?
Yes. Let me answer two separate issues. I was so fortunate to be part of the World Economic Forum member. We attended Davos for 2 years now, and in Davos there's this a small forum, a cryptocurrency forum. So like Coinbase is a member, Ripple, Circle, and I'm talking about number one, right? Attending Davos every year, and we talked, and based on the insights, they said that the US would be, after FTX, they would slow down a lot, kind of wait and see, and eventually they predict that the US customers would only be trading Bitcoin, allowed to trade Bitcoin, and others would be classified as securities. And for Thailand, we separate tokens into 3 categories. The first one is purely cryptocurrency, so they meant like Bitcoin, right, as cryptocurrencies. And the second class type is called an investment token, where you have real assets like hotels, real estates, asset backed, and be able to do discounted cash flow, ROI on the return on investment, similar to stocks, right? You can tokenize stocks, tokenize bonds, tokenize real estate. This is what we call an investment token. And then the third type is what we call a utility token, ready to use utility token, like concert coupons and NFTs that are redeemable for privileges or rights to shake hand or to enter some privileged events. It's like a coupon, right? So ready to use coupon, we call it a utility token, or a point system. Every private companies in Thailand have their own points. They can tokenize their point into a utility token and make and improve the system so that different point system can interchange in a frictionless manner. Interoperability between different private companies' points. You can tokenize and make them to become a utility token. So there are 3 classifications right now for Thailand. And before you issue any new coin, you have to go to another entity, not BitCup. We are like a secondary exchange. They have to go to a primary portal. We call it an ICO portal. So it's like an underwriter, an FA, so that they would file all the documentation, white paper to the SEC for the rubber stamp for the final approval before they launch to the market, to the public. So they try to replicate the investment banking model, like investment banking, FA, stock exchange, different players into different entities, creating an ecosystem, a regulated ecosystem in Thailand.
Yeah,
Great information. Josh, thanks for the question. Top, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know it's late where you're at. If people want to learn it more, can people from outside Thailand use your exchange?
Yes, but but you have to have a Thai bank account for cash in, cash out.
Okay.
But you can
It's a little
be
tricky.
from any countries so long as you have a passport to verify yourself or a
I'll be
national
coming
ID.
I'll come to Bangkok next month. I'm actually planning on popping in Bangkok in July and August. So I'll definitely try to see where you're at. I really appreciate you sharing time with us. And people want to follow you. Do you do a newsletter? Do you have a website? Do you have something where people can actually watch what you're doing?
Sure, I'm on all the channels like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can type my name, Top Jirayut Official. I'm TikTok. I'm on all the channels. I even have my own website, or you can access bitcup.com company. And regardless, I encourage you all to visit Thailand. You know, we will be welcoming 20 million tourists this year. We have a nice beach, nice mountain. The price to quality ratio is great. We're a land of
Good food.
smile, people, good food. Yes, encourage you to try, and you would love Thailand for sure.
Top, you're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing time with us today.